How can we improve the way we actually relate with these people who are lending us money? It's interesting that she has talked about how we tend to just disappear, go MIA until it's crunch time. What do we need to do to ensure that, by the way, things are running smoothly? But let me just ask Grace at this particular time to give us secrets of the trade. And really, for those of us who are not in this sector, we don't really understand what you're looking for. That makes me either qualified, not qualified, or just pending. Because there are those files that just sit on your desk.
It's true.
And you're sitting and wondering, does Wajiko qualify? I don't know. Let's get back to her in September, you know? So tell us what essentially as lenders you look for.
So we first are going to look at how have you paid other loans. So typically you'll find that they'll pull your credit score from some of these credit reference bureaus. I think in Kenya we now have Metropole or TransUnion. And this is where they list all the good loans, that's the performing loans and the non-performing loans. When we're looking at those loans, we're going to be looking at how many loans have you borrowed and what is their repayment cycle. So have you taken an installment loan or a revolving loan? So a revolving loan is like an overdraft. You borrow to pay, you pay to borrow. And I think also I've seen these mobile loans. The banks almost give them as an installment loan. A loan which is an equivalent of your 1 month salary. So that's once you pay, you can be able to borrow the full amount. So we are looking at the type of credit that you've taken out, how you've prepaid previous credit, and then how frequently have you requested for, we actually call it a hard inquiry. How many times has a lender pulled your credit score trying to decide whether you are the right person to lend to? Because the frequency of that CRB report being pulled will tell me if you're in distress. If I also notice that you're taking a lot of this revolving credit, borrowing here to pay there, also that tells me that you're in distress and you might not be a good candidate for borrowing. Also, I'm going to be looking at the installment vis-a-vis your income. If you have borrowed from, say, Stanbic, then you borrow from Ngao, then you borrow from Branch, then you borrow from Tala. Those are some of the red flags that somebody is struggling when I'm looking at the total installment you pay vis-a-vis the total income you generate. And I can see the total credit is more than the total income in, then that could also be a red flag. So my recommendation is that if you are taking out a loan, pay the loan. It is 50% of the credit score is determined by how well have you paid previous loans. So number 2, you should take a loan. Because if you don't take a loan, I do not have your credit history. As a lender, I don't know whether you are good for borrowing and paying back, or you are not. So contrary to popular belief that you should not take credit, lenders don't lend to people without a credit history. They don't.
So people who are just there, me, I don't like loans, I don't borrow.
We do not
shock
know.
on you. When you actually need it, you'll be like, who are you?
Customer behavior. We cannot be able to see demonstrated customer behavior that indeed you can borrow and pay. So we are looking for people who've borrowed and paid, people who are paying the installment on time, people who are living within their means. I think so. You're not living on credit. You have a fantastic lifestyle, but it's being supported by credit. So we're also looking for such things, and of course the hard inquiries. Who's inquiring for that you're looking for loan? Are you looking for Tala, Zenka? And when were you looking for this money? If it's very close to when you're trying to borrow from me, I am under the impression something is not right.
There's something up.
Something is not right. And typically lenders want to make sure that we are giving to people who can pay back. So you could find that you are not able to lend to you because you look like you are currently not doing too well. So we are also keen that we are lending to people with capacity to pay back. That's called responsible lending.